just a sample of the hour or so to come. Headingley on the first day of the 1989 Ashes series, and behind me, groundsman Keith Boyce puts finishing touches to a wicket known throughout the world. Just one small segment of a history that goes back 100 years. For sale, a plot of land on Cardigan Road, St Michael's Lane. Lot 17A was where it all began. A group of local businessmen, including Yorkshire's cricket captain Lord Hawke, thought the city needed a premier sports club. Quickly the ground was developed, and the first match on the famous Headingley turf was September the 20th, 1890. Leeds St John's, as they were known, played Manningham. And playing in terracotta and green jerseys, this was the team which won by a drop goal and a try to 0. The formation of the Northern Rugby League in 1901 established the Leeds club. In 1910 they won the cup, and Fred Webster became Leeds' first international. The cricket club had of course been in existence since 1863, but 1902 was its greatest moment. Australia bowled out for 23. Yorkshire won 5 championships in 10 years. Hurst and Jackson saw the Australians off on this never-to-be-forgotten day. Yorkshire's greatest all-rounders set the standards. Wilfred Rhodes, 31,000 runs, 3,500 wickets. And George Hurst, 32,000 runs, 2,500 wickets. The 1920s, and moving pictures come into everyone's lives for the first time. And Headingley stays an international in January 1921. England played Wales. The feature from the newsreel's point of view was not so much the match, but the visit of some boxing champions. Georges Carpentier, the French champion, kicked off. And England stormed to victory, beating Wales comprehensively 35 points to 9. In 1923, Sir Edwin Airy took over the chairmanship of the club. It was the start of a 32-year reign. He's still regarded as the man who really built the club. Leeds also won the Challenge Cup for the second time in the same year. They beat Hull 28-3 at Wakefield. 30,000 spectators saw it and paid £2,500. Headingley as a cricket centre became increasingly famous. In 1926, the public queued for hours down Cardigan Road and St Michael's Lane. Bardsley and Woodfull opened for Australia. Some said 40,000 people were watching the likes of Maurice Tate. And England grabbed a wicket immediately. Here's some rare action of Tate bowling and taking that wicket. Australia in real trouble. But in came McCartney to transform the scoreboard and the test. Who said northern folk wore flat caps? But the Headingley crowd appreciated quality, and McCartney's innings soon showed the highest touches of class. He made 100 out of 131. And none of the England bowlers, Tate included, could make any headway. Australia built the foundation for a massive score. These pictures also give us a reminder of Headingley in its earlier days, and the reputation it had of being a good batting wicket. McCartney went on to make 151, and Australia ended the day on 366 for 3, not a bad day's cricket, and a good omen for future Australian visits to the ground. The 20s also had some bad moments for Yorkshire. Say this quietly, but Lancashire bowled them out for 33 in 1924, a momentary lapse. But Yorkshire could boast the finest openers in the land, Percy Holmes and Herbert Sutcliffe. In 1928, they thrashed Middlesex for 290 in just 180 minutes. The next decade in cricket was dominated by one man, Sir Donald Bradman. There are few who would argue that he was the greatest batsman of all time. I think it's true to say that Headingley really came of age in the 1930s. Now, we've already seen how Sir Donald Bradman had a special place in his heart for Headingley, and we'll be assessing his place in history in a moment. As for the Rugby League team, well, they were embarking on a special era, due in no small measure to 3 remarkable players. Jim Brough was one of Leeds Rugby League's all-time greats. He played over 400 matches for the club and was capped for Great Britain. This was one of the first test matches against Australia shown on the newsreels. Rugby League was gaining a powerful following. Joe Thompson led the forwards in style as Leeds started the decade with their 3rd Challenge Cup success in 1932. It was at Wigan, and the only known copy of the game now belongs to Eric Harris, the other member of the triumvirate. The coverage, to say the least, was sketchy, but the final will always be remembered for Eric's try. Leeds won 11 points to 8. Now, nearly 60 years later, the Toowoomba Ghost, as he was affectionately known, sent this message from Australia about Leeds, the club he still loves.
Well, I'd say good luck to them in the next 100 years, and I hope they progress as much then as they have done in the past. I look forward sometime. I may see them again, you know. I might get over to Leeds, and I hope then that those people whom I've known will come and see me or make contact.
1932 will also be remembered for the fire on Good Friday during the match against Halifax. The game was abandoned after 10 minutes. The North Stand was totally gutted. In 1936, Leeds won the Challenge Cup again, beating Warrington 18-2. Eric Harris scored his 63rd try of the season. 1932 was a great year for Yorkshire's Herbert Sutcliffe. He hit the club's highest individual score on the ground, 270. And Headingley Verity enjoyed a remarkable record too. In all, he took 167 wickets there for Yorkshire at just 10.86 runs apiece. Some say he was the greatest slow bowler of them all. In 1931, he took all 10 wickets against Warwickshire. His figures were 18.4 overs, 6 maidens, 10 for 36. And he repeated the dose against Nottinghamshire the next year. Sir Donald Bradman, though, was the figure who perhaps has more reason than most to have a soft spot for Headingley. No one will ever get close to his record. He only played in 4 tests here, but follow this. In 1930 he made 334. In 1934, 304. 38, 103 and 16. And in 48, 33 and 173 not out.
It started off, of course, in 1930. We'd played the Lord's Test match and I'd made 254 in the Lord's Test, and I went up to Headingley and Australia won the toss and batted. We lost 1 wicket almost immediately and I had to go into bat, and that particular day I finished up with 309 not out, which is probably the best day's batting I've ever enjoyed. But one thing I'd like to tell you about that, it's been commonly said that I made 100 before lunch, 100 before tea and 100 before stumps, and that is not true. I actually got 105 in the morning session. I was 220 at tea, so that's another 115, and 309 at night, which means I only made 89 in the last session. So that is a falsehood that I made 100 in each session.
Still, it must be a great satisfaction for yourself to have made so many runs, and I understand that you also made the fastest double century at Headingley in 214 minutes.
I think that's right. I'm not terribly concerned with statistics like that, but I understand that is correct, yes.
What about any famous partnerships that you've held with anyone at Headingley?
Well, in particular, I think the big partnership came the following tour in 1934. On that occasion, we batted second, and we had a very disastrous start because we went into bat late in the day. A wicket fell early, and Bill Woodfull, who was the captain, sent in a night watchman, Bert Oldfield. He got out straight away. Then Woodfull thought rather than expose me, he'd go in himself, and he got bowled for a duck. So we'd lost 3 for 39 on that evening, and I didn't go in till the next morning, which meant instead of going in first wicket down, I went in number 5. And that threw me into a partnership with Ponsford, and we made I think it's still a world record partnership for that particular wicket in Test cricket.
Yes, you made 304 and Ponsford made 181.
Yes, I made 304 in that innings.
Was there any special circumstance that you went in so late?
I'd had, well, only that I told you about the falling of the wickets. But it had a special significance because I was having a bad tour. Health-wise, I wasn't well. My form wasn't good, and I'd not been making runs prior to this match. And the great critic Neville Cardus said to me, "If you hit a 4 before lunch in this innings, I will kick your backside." And I hit the first 2 balls for 4 each. When I came up, I said to Cardus, "Now, are you going to carry out your threat?" And he said, "Oh, no, that was different. Your feet were in the right place."
Alas for last night's consolations and vain hopes of yesterday, which reckoned without Bradman. Don's first ball from Bowes he hits for 4. Likewise the second. Don is back to form. Visions of an Australian collapse disappear as Bradman and Ponsford progress. The partnership proves to be a world's record of 388 runs. Stan McCabe has a long wait with pads on until Ponsford is eventually out for 181. Don, undefeated at the close of play, has 271 to his account. Will he go on to beat his own Leeds record of 334?
1938 also you played there at Headingley?
Well, 38 we had a very exciting match, rather low scoring game. Wicket turned quite a bit and Bill O'Reilly got 5 wickets in each innings, which is a marvellous performance. But the outstanding memory of 1938 is that we were batting and it looked like rain. And I was afraid that we might get caught on a sticky wicket the next day. So I said to our boys, now you are not to appeal against the light under any circumstances. We are going to bat on. And I promise you this is true. It was so dark that I could see fellows lighting matches in the pavilion to light their cigarettes. The darkest light which I ever played. And we did the right thing because we made some more runs in the bad light and we just won the match in the end.
And again, you scored another century.
Yes, 100 that time.
In 1948, Australia won a match at Headingley and there were some special circumstances there also.
Well, 48 was an extraordinary match because we came to the last day, the English team was still batting and they batted on for about 5 minutes before Yardley closed the innings and then sent us in. And we were left to make, I think it was a little over 400 in 345 minutes. And this is the 5th day on a worn pitch. And we got the runs with 15 minutes to spare. And that's the only time that an Australian team has won a test match by scoring over 400 on in the last innings.
The 1940s were inevitably the barren years because of the Second World War. But when it was all over, Headingley emerged almost immediately as one of the great theatres of sport, no matter which side of the stand you were sitting or standing in.
England kick off in the season's first rugby league test against Australia at Leeds. The dark-shirted Kangaroos, hardy and tough tacklers, open their test series, eager to emulate their cricketing compatriots and take home the rugby league's ashes won by them only twice previously. A thrill a minute, marked by flashes of individual genius, give the 40,000 Yorkshire crowd plenty to shout about. Australia open the scoring, but England recover brilliantly, and Bradford's Trevor Foster, number 12, goes over for the home side's first try. England skipper Ernest Ward, number 3, commanding in midfield, opens the attack that is to clinch England's win. Bert Pimblett, St Helens three-quarter, scores the try.
The history of the Leeds club in the 40s saw 2 Challenge Cup victories in the reduced war competition and a defeat in 1947 against Bradford Northern. And whilst 1945 will be remembered as the end of the war, the club probably would like to forget it. 125 points were conceded in their first 2 matches in the new season. The 1947 cricket tourists were South Africa. They didn't bring the sunshine with them. Headingley was the setting for one of its special downpours. Crowds don't get drenched like this these days.
It didn't do very much good to the wicket either. England's opening pair coped in brilliant style, and the feature of the day's play was Len Hutton's masterly return to form. Critics describe his century as flawless.
The 1950s brought Headingley one of the best teams this country has ever had. Yorkshire prospered, as indeed did England. What's the saying? A strong Yorkshire means a great England team. In rugby league, Leeds were on the verge of one of the best periods in their 100 years of history. 2 men stood out. Lewis Jones was captured from Welsh Rugby Union and Arthur Clues came over from Australia. The club say they are still waiting for him to go back. These 2 were players of the highest quality. Jones was the classic back, Clues inspirational as a forward. 1957, Leeds were at Wembley again, facing Barrow.
Passing to Pryor, Pryor to Pat Quinn, and Quinn crashes through to score. Leeds 3, Barrow 0. And in the second half, Leeds press home their advantage. Young Delmos Hodgkinson escapes fullback Joe Ball. And that's 6-0. McClellan recovers and back heels to Street, who flings a pass to Don Robinson. Lewthwaite tries to stop him, but he struggles on to make it 9-2.
Lewis, you must have some rather happy memories of this place, because this was your home for a long time, wasn't it, Headingley?
For a long time, yeah, for 12 years, I believe, Harry, and went to Australia after that 12 years. But I came up in 1952, and we had a good side all throughout the 12 years that I was here. The playing area is absolutely perfect, isn't it? It's so lush, and it was never like this when I played.
We talk about great personalities in the side. Arthur Clues, of course, was a tremendous player, wasn't he?
I believe Arthur would probably be the best player I ever saw. And he had speed, he had, well, he had everything. He had a sidestep, and of course, if things got a bit rough, you could always rely on Arthur to sort it out.
Well, I think that's very nice of Lewis to say that, because not a mutual admiration society, Harry, but I do feel that Lewis Jones was probably the greatest footballer I've ever seen and played with in all the years I've been connected with the game.
How good a team was that? Because it never quite fulfilled its rich potential, did it?
That'd be fair comment. I was captain when Lewis signed on, and Lewis made a tremendous difference, but the full value of the team never came till about 5 years after, you know, about 1957 when they won the Cup, and there was always a nucleus of a good side, but we never quite probably made it at the time. But at that time when Lewis signed on for £6,000, that was a record fee in those days.
There are other great players I played with, you know, players like Ken Thornett, who was probably the greatest fullback I ever saw. And one of the locals, of course, was Jeff Stevenson, the best halfback I ever saw. And we had some great players, we had some great teams, but we never hit the headlines, really. I think only on 2 occasions did we ever win anything. I played at Wembley in 1957, which was a great moment. But probably the highlight of my career was the win the league championship at Oddsall in 1961. And remarkably, Leeds in their very long history hadn't won this thing at all. And I happened to be captain that day, so you know that was the highlight of my career, really.
Looking at the ground now, does it bring back still nostalgic moments for you?
Oh yes, many happy moments, and all the decent players that we played against with Wigan and Warrington and the Bevans and all the great players of the past, you know. It brings back a lot of nostalgic memories.
And obviously you still think it's one of the greatest clubs you've ever played with, and one of the greatest clubs in the world?
Probably the greatest rugby league club in the world is Leeds, actually.
The Australians were back again in 1956. And this time, Peter May showed all the qualities that made him one of England's most elegant post-war players.
Hello.
Along with Washbrook, his century set up a great England victory.
That's his century.
His dismissal, though, came off surely the worst ball ever bowled at Headingley.
No. My gosh, he's caught him. No, he hasn't. Yes, he is. He's out. A brilliant catch.
May out for 101, and England went on to make 325 in their first innings. Australia were dismissed for 143 in theirs and had to follow on 182 behind. At this point, they were going rather well in the second innings, but then Laker and Locke set about them. Miller caught at forward short leg off Laker. He then traps Burge leg before. Australia, 120 for 4, in deep trouble. Tony Locke bowls to Archer, and Washbrook takes the catch. Australia now moved on to 140 for 8 and faced certain defeat. Maddox is the next to go, leg before to Locke. and the final wicket falls to Jim Laker. Mackay comprehensively bowled. England win by an innings and 42 runs. Note the well-behaved crowd. Freddie Truman, a member of that team, has his own thoughts about the ground.
Headingley has great memories for me, successful memories and unsuccessful as well, don't forget that, because I played my first test match here in 1952 against India, of which I bowled up the hill, which was unusual for a fast bowler, but I did in the first innings. I got 3 wickets. In the second innings I bowled down the hill, and that is when the scoreboard had that famous reading of 4 wickets down for no runs, which I don't think has been repeated in a test match since. I might be wrong on that and stand to be contradicted, of course. In 1948 we go to the other side of the ground over there, which of course is rugby league, which is my second love. And I was introduced to rugby league by a superman who I love and adore, and we've been pals 40 odd years now, of course, and that was Arthur Clues, and he introduced me to rugby league. There was him and people like Burke Cook and a fellow called McMasters, and who also became a wrestler. And then later life, of course, people like Jeff Stevenson, and then on to people like Shoe Bottom and Seaborn and the lad called Haig and Batten and all these, and so I became very interested in rugby league, which I still am.
One man Freddie didn't mention was, of course, Lewis Jones. Now here's some rare footage of Lewis in action and his famous hitch kick against Australia in 1954. The 1960s, and I'm sure it's true to say that television brought sport into everyone's lives and put Headingley even more on the map. It also brought remarkable success for Leeds Rugby League Club. Each time they'd reached the championship final, they'd lost in previous occasions, but not in 1961. But before the final, Leeds faced St Helens in the semis. Murphy, Vollenhoven, Corellius were trying to lead Saints to a league and cup double. We joined the match at 5 points to 2 to Leeds.
31 minutes gone, Leeds 5, St Helens 2. And a lot of little fancy passing. Oh, this is a chance. But Rosenberg's got it on the bounce. He got Hallis inside. He's dumbing. He's trying to go on his own. He gets it inside. Hattie could score. And Hattie has scored. Hattie has scored. He dribbled beautifully like a soccer player, did Hattie. An inside pass from Rosenberg. Hallis missed out. Hattie was on the job. And this almost a reserve team player, Hattie, scores the second try for Leeds to give them a lead of 8 points to 2 after 31 minutes play. Well, Leeds, who have never won the Rugby League Championship, are off to a flying start. They're at the front 8 points to 2 at the moment, and Jones has missed what should have been a goal for Leeds. 8 points to 2, 32 minutes gone. The safe arms of Ken Thornett, not quite the safe feet, but he'll have a go. He gets the pass nicely to Hallis. Hallis, I would have thought, should have given it to Rosenberg. Rosenberg at 10 yards, a chance to start running. And Rosenberg's knocked on. And Rosenberg's failed to go, and away goes Sullivan! But Thornett just gets him. Rosenberg failed to make the ball dead by falling on it, and Sullivan almost streaked into the corner. You can't give those chances to Mick Sullivan. A great tackle by Thornett saved it. And as the umbrellas go up and the rain comes down and I get wet, Austin Rhodes takes a shot at goal for 2 points. The first 2 is certain, and the third is a pretty good effort. But it's a goal! A very good goal indeed. 4 minutes gone in the second half, and the score 8 points to 4. And it's all right, Alec Murphy. Now this is a chance for Vollenhoven, if he can get it. He doesn't get it. Donovan's tackled by Hattie. Vollenhoven. And Murphy's been waltzed over his own, into his own half. Most peculiar to see that. But Murphy stuck to the ball. Corellius. And Corellis has lost the ball. No, the referee has given a knock-on by the knee. He actually lost the ball, I'm quite sure. It was probably unsighted. Had it, and the exchanges are as fierce as you want them to be in a cup tie, or that you don't want them to be. It's getting rip-roaring hard rugby, and the next try, I reckon, will decide this match. And Vines is running for it. Lewis Jones trying to push past Murphy. Oh, he got it passing nicely to Hattie, and away goes Hattie. And for one of the rare occasions, Leeds are in the St Helens half in possession. 8-4, just a quarter of an hour left for play. Can Leeds hold on to this lead of 4 points? It's a Herculean task. Hollis. Rosenberg. Is Rosenberg still running? He is. Rosenberg's in for a try! Well, what a sensational try by the South African winger, Rosenberg.
The final itself at Odsal was the golden grail for Leeds. Warrington were overpowered. Fairbank scored the first try. Evans got the second just before half-time. And then Hallis, with 2 in the second half, sealed Leeds' finest moment. Lewis Jones had the last word, scoring right on the final whistle. 60 years of striving, Leeds had finally arrived. The championship meant everything. 1968 brought Leeds back to Wembley. It proved to be the most dramatic ever staged. Eddie Waring is your commentator.
Leeds, Risman fullback, Smith, Hines, Watson, Atkinson, Shoebottom, Seaburn, Clark, Crosby, Kenny Eyre, his brother Albert Ayres, number 12, along with Ramsey and Ray Batten, loose forward. That's the Leeds side. There's Bev Risman with the ball, the goal kicker, 100 and we've lost him, he's on the right, but on Wakefield's side, and it's Cooper full-back, Hurst on the right wing, Brook right centre, Koitsabati, Point and Owen, Gene Shepherd, Don Fox. Keep your eye on Don Fox kicking for position. Haig, who's the runner, McLeod, who's the ball handler, David Hall is the loose forward. Penalty to Leeds and a chance for Risman to kick and go. And interesting, that's putting the ball in the own forwards feed. Bev Risman and the referee's having a word with Wakefield player for no doubt talking, Bob Haig. Referee Hebblethwaite, a bit of a disciplinarian, he won't stand any nonsense or back chat. Carroll is the early bath and they're getting one here without going in there for one. Risman, the kicker. Now this fella takes an awful long time to kick a goal, but he's kicked 154 goals this season, scored 10 tries, and is the captain of Great Britain, which next Saturday will leave for Australia on the World Championships. The Australian viewers particularly will be interested to see the left footer kick by Bev Risman. The orange boy doesn't take a long run, but he steadied himself. Crowd trying to put him off. It's 35 yards out. 35 yards out, and it's a goal! It's a lot of goals in rugby league, mainly with Featherstone Rovers, who are cheering him here today. Gets at it, kicks it, and he gets 2 points for it. John Fox, the kicker, leads to Wakefield Trinity 2. Play all the time. And Risman obstructed and a penalty at the point, and Don Fox is not. He's thrown the ball on the floor, but it'll have to be sent back. He needed to kick it with. And Risman, his third shot and a good chance. There's Mr. Heatherthwaite. That's the position the player must take. He can come back as far as he wants to take the kick, but it must be not past that particular line of mark. So you can see the position of all the shadows now on the Wembley turf. And we kick in towards the scoreboard end. 2-2 at this moment. Risman with his left knee banded, balancing himself, walks slowly, puts his foot through, and he gets 2 points. Leeds 4, Wakefield, Trinity 2. Owen. Halfway line. Leeds leading 4 points to 2, and it's a good kick. Oh, it's a try. It'll be a try. It's not in touch. It'll be a try. Oh, the ball didn't go into touch when he thought it was going, and Hurst simply dribbled up and went on. And there's the score. A sensational, unexpected try. So the referee just had to follow the play, and the ball, and Hurst got it in. So that's a switch of leadership. 5-4, Don Fox. And it's not a bad one, in fact it's a good one. Leeds 4, Wakefield Trinity 7, 11 points in 15 minutes. That's not a bad start for this rainy Wembley. Ramsey. It's funny how they'll keep going back into that. Run away from it. Seaborn's kicking. Oh, now then! Here, got a bounty in one. This could be a try. This could be a try. This is the fastest man. He's still going. Is he going dive in? Oh, they're all after it. Oh, right. Well, that was. It's a try. Is it? What's he doing? He's giving a try for obstruction. The referee's giving a try for obstruction. He's giving a try for obstruction for pushing. The referee has given Leeds a try for obstruction in front of the post. Under the post, an awful lot of everything going on. I'm sure he's given a try. Somebody's running on the field, I think so. Risman taking the kick, which will put Leeds in front. 9 points to 7 if he kicks it. Risman, a very happy Risman. Now then, the thing is changed now. Can Wakefield pull it back? Leeds 9, Wakefield Trinity 7. Hard, but Wakefield cover in, and it's getting very near to. The referee's going to have a word with Harold Poynton. 1 minute to go. I don't know what it's about, but it'll be a penalty for Leeds, I would think. Referee Heatherthwaite going to give a penalty. It's for a stiff arm tackle. Brisbane kicking 9-7, remember, and we're bang on time. Got a few seconds, and that's bang on the target, and that's to go. That's to go. So Brisbane finishes as it started with a goal. Leeds 11, Wakefield Trinity 7, and this amazing game of rugby league in Clonobby. Knows who's going to take it. This is the trying to goal here could do something. Oh, he's going over for a try. He's going to score a try. It's a try. Sensational last minute try. Sensational last minute try. 11-10, and all on this goal. And Don Fox to kick. I think in 11-10, Leeds 11, Wakefield Trinity 10. What a dramatic finish. And there's the scorer, Kenny Hurst, who got the first one, and Don Fox who's talking of retiring from the game. 40 minutes gone. If he kicks the goal, some of the Leeds players won't dare look. It's not a hard shot, but it's always a hard shot when the match depends on it. And in this weather, it's taking all the time in the world, because he's allowed to kick it. He can't blow time until it's kicked. It's all on the goal. What a grandstand finish this is. He's missed it! He's missed it! No, it's on the ground, he's missed it! Well, and there goes the whistle for time. What a dramatic, everybody's got the head in their hands, and he's sure in tears. He's in tears. He's a poor lad. Poor Don Fox, who's always wanted to come to Wembley and on the winner and does it finish. But that's the end of it, and there's the drama of the match. And people were saying it's an easy goal kick, but on a day like this, can skid off his foot, and there's the poor lad, and they're all loving him. Oh, he's deeply distressed, but it's happened, and the poor lad who's talking about retiring, he wanted to go with the Cup Winners' Medal, and the good Wakefield players are going up to the lads in tears, and Sir Bev Risman goes up, and what a moment. However, there it is. Leeds have won the Rugby League Challenge Cup in this sensation of sensational Wembleys, in the wettest Wembley we've ever had, and as Don Fox being cuddled by Jerry Round and others, he will never forget. What a moment to live with. Oh, what a hard-line story for the boy, but that's it, and it's Leeds 11, Wakefield Trinity 10, and up go Leeds, led by Mick Clark, to take the cup from that. I think it's the Yorkshire lass, the Duchess of Kent. I think it will be. Yes, from the Duke of Kent, accompanied by the Royal House, the Duchess of Kent, daughter of Sir William Worsley, looking very charming and a very...
Joe, when you became coach, what were the terms of reference for what you had to do?
Win everything in sight, Harry, but particularly, of course, to win the Rugby League Championship. That was the sort of holy grail at Headingley. With all the great sides of the 30s, they'd never won the championship, and we achieved it in '61.
You built a side specifically for that purpose as well, didn't you?
Yes, we signed mature, established stars to achieve that object, and having done it, well, the side began to break up.
So a change of policy after that, was it?
Yes, not forced upon us. We considered it and decided that this business of recruitment of established players would be perhaps better served if we looked at the junior field, and we had a very extensive junior recruitment campaign.
And of course that led to some great names of Leeds Rugby League, the golden era perhaps of Leeds Rugby League.
Yes, I think that's an apt description. All the ducks became swans. I won't mention them, Harry, you know them well enough, but towards the late 60s under Roy Francis, I think the team had achieved possibly its peak.
In 1965, Headingley was the scene for one of the great individual performances by a batsman. The only time an Englishman reached 3 figures on this ground in a test match.
Well taken by John Ward.
Bradman, we've seen, tended to make a habit of scoring triple centuries, but the distinction this time fell to John Edridge of Surrey.
Heading one, Sinclair in, 296, one stroke would now bring Edrich to the magic 300. Let me tell you that if he gets there, he'll become only the 8th player in history to get past 300 in a test match.
The occasion was the New Zealand game, and Edridge hit 57 boundaries. He reached 300 in some style.
Motts to bowl at him from the football end. It's a marvellous shot over mid-off, and he's there. A lofted off drive.
Geoffrey Boycott made his highest test score as well on this ground, 246 against India. This is the only recording left of the innings. He was then dropped for slow scoring. Throughout the 60s, Yorkshire were quite simply a great side. Led by Brian Close, he kept together some rather forceful personalities to win 6 championships and 2 Gillette Cups. Truman, of course, played a major part, taking nearly 2,000 wickets in his career. This was 1966, Yorkshire winning the championship again at Headingley, and Brian Close being interviewed after the game.
One of my greatest moments here at Headingley, I suppose, would be when I got, was it 5 or 6 for none against Australia in 1961. We beat Australia in 3 days.
So now it's a new spell by Freddie Truman, bowling from the Kirkstall Lane end. If looks could kill. Freddie bowling now in front of his own Yorkshire folk. He always likes to produce something a bit special on this ground. This was the ground 9 years ago where he had India on the rack. 4 wickets down, their first 4 for no runs. A familiar routine, the arm moving like a piston. A reflex action he must go through thousands of times a week without ever giving it a moment's thought. England badly needing another wicket. And he's out. Neil Harvey's gone, caught by Dexter, very comfortably caught at cover point. Nasty one, the ball stopped and lifted. Harvey 53. David Allen bowling off spinners to Peter Burge. And he must be out. Come in front of middle and leg on the back foot. 4 down for 102. Fred now really with his tail up. Bowling to O'Neill at reduced pace. The batsman can't trust this pitch. Fred bowling off cutters now, knowing he's in with a chance. And O'Neill's gone too, easily caught by Cowdrey round the corner. Another nasty delivery, turning and lifting. And Truman has taken 2 for naught in this spell. Alan Davidson. No, he didn't get a touch. To Bobby Simpson, who's bowled, offering a pretty flowery stroke. 6 wickets gone. In this spell, Freddie Truman, 3 for none. The look of a man who knows he's got the old enemy on the run. I'll show him. A natural showman, he doesn't have to try. Truman now to the Australian captain Richie Benaud, whom he bowled first ball in the first innings, but not this time. 4 for none, a tremendous match-winning spell. Richie Benaud, poor man, has bagged a pair. So we'll see if that obdurate man Mackay can stick. He can't, it's all over, he's caught behind. It's tremendous, 5 wickets for no runs. In terms of statistics, Freddie Truman's greatest feat to date in a test match, and it's completely swung this match.
So much happened in and around this great club in the 70s. The boycott row tore the county apart, and sadly Yorkshire never looked like winning anything. On the other hand, Leeds Rugby League Club couldn't stop winning. But at international level, Headingley was a setting for a significant defeat for Great Britain. The occasion was the 3rd and final test match against Australia. The winner won the Ashes. Australia's stars were Graham Eadie, Mick Cronin, Tom Raudonikis and Les Boyd, names well known over here now. Great Britain's team included John Atkinson, John Holmes was substitute, Roger Millwood was captain, Headingley was packed solid. Eddie Waring is your commentator again.
Great Britain in trouble. He's going to strike and he gets a try. He gets a try. I think it's George Peponis, the doctor. There it is. Well, it had been set up and the position was so close, and then he started to scream in and went through the last remnants of defence, and that was a good try to the dock. 7 points to 0. Let's have a look at it from a spectator's point of view. See, yes, it was there. Well, that settled that one. This is the Mick Cronin goal conversion attempt. And it's in. 9 points to 0. standing three behind each other. 1, 2, 3, not sure which man's going to get the ball. Three sort of dummies, really.
Yes, it's a little bit unusual. If you notice, he stands in front of the men because otherwise they'd be offside. But it's quite cleverly done.
Good run by Les Boyd. Oh, strong run. Oh, what a try. What a try by Les Boyd. What a try with the 12 points to nil, and that is a real killer. So this was set up, and then up he went. He went through two defenders, and then although he sort of fell with an ankle tackle, he went over straight in front. There's the crossbar. There'll be no difficulty in kicking this. Mike Cronin, and no doubt they'll feel that this try was just a valuable one. And the flags are up. And a chance here for Jeff Gerrard. He's going to go. Jeff Gerrard is going, and that's it. With 41 minutes, a minute into injury time, 17 points to nil. Well, we'll have a look at that. Went again between two defenders, did Tommy Radonicus, and then he gave it to Gerrard. Gerrard's cover was never likely to push him off, just stop him from going too far behind the post, and indeed he went behind it. Mick Cronin kicking. And it's there. In injury time, 19 points to nil. Jim Mills. Good break. And a good supporting play from Roger Millward. Did he dive over and get the try? The referee gives it. Referee gives the try to Roger Millward. 14 minutes gone. 20 points to 3, and the one thing for Great Britain fans to cheer about. And the first movement came, and he looked at it. Nichols was going through, Lowe was going through. Then clubmate supporting Roger Millward. Now, did he slide over? But he then turned over, and did he then put down? Well, the referee said he did, although of course the Australians were appealing. But however, Roger Millward the try. Great Britain 3, Australian 20, and George Fairbairn kicking. Not had a lot of success with his kicks. Fourth coming. Chance for the first success. And it's the post, and his bad luck continues. Sixth tackle coming up. Coming on the short side with Jim Mills. How many getting involved? Just holding the ball so he can't pass it. And drop it. Play on. Norton. Right. A long one. It's 3-2 if he takes it. And he gets it in nicely, and he must get the pass out, and off he goes to Bevan. Bevan, the second try, so something to cheer about, a bit of a comeback anyway. 20 points to 6 with 18 minutes gone in the second half, and it was well taken here and some good passing along the line. Joyner had a very good part. He bounded right, and then with almost losing his short, John Holmes, Bevan went in up the corner. Curry Bousted was on him, but he was over the try line. A good try. This must be a chance for Tommy Radonicus, and it is. And that was it. And look how happy Frankie Stanton and Peter Moore, the manager, is. 23 points to 6.
So whilst Great Britain entered the doldrums, Leeds flourished. It was probably the best team the club has ever had.
Yes, it's Alias Smith and Jones, Aki and Alan Smith. They probably the most successful club pair in a very, very long time, if not in the game's history. They were tremendous, and John Holmes, of course, the maestro, still with us, marvellous, marvellous player. names too numerous to mention, dozens of them, and most of them achieved a fair degree of success.
John Holmes. Inside. There's a chance for a try here, John Holmes. Start in the second half. 2 minutes gone. Neil Haig, not a good pass. He's in trouble. Oh, he's not. He's got his pass out. Lovely. Oh, wonderful way he got the ball away. 6 tackle coming up. Gonna have a drop. Gonna have a drop. He's got to go with his left foot. Mason to Pitchford. Dill to Atkinson. Atkinson's taking them on down the wing, and Atkinson has scored. Atkinson taking them on down the wing, not going inside, and his 2 arms of delight. Oh, good pass. Well taken, Dill. Chance for Atkinson, who's taken Pimbledon. Is he going into the corner? A try! Smith is in. Alan Smith, who has been working, coming seeking play, gets the try that he's been wanting. And it's a break. Oh well, break. I don't think he might be covered. I doubt it. He might be crossed. I don't think he will. A great tackle, very, very near to the line. David Smith and Les Gant. Very close and in easily as Alan Smith under the post. Well, that was.
The culmination of the Leeds' success was 2 trips to Wembley in consecutive years. 1977 is the date, witness the opponents. This was the big test for the Loiners. Were they really as good as people were saying? No one doubted they had talent. The half-backs were acknowledged as the best in the business, and the forwards under David Ward soon stamped their influence on the game.
Second ball to Leeds, Ward 2 on a trot. Kevin Dick, plenty of confidence as this boy. And it'll be a penalty. There'll be a penalty against Bill Ramsey, ex-Leeds player, for a high tackling. And it was a very high one. David Watkins with me. Any views on that tackle?
It was all a high tackle and a silly tackle to give away. It's interesting to note that the game has started very hard. Leeds were forced into an early error, but overcame it. And this young boy, Kevin Dick, as Eddie has said, is a lad with tremendous potential. He's really put them into an attacking position, from which resulted in this now kick for goal because of the foul tackle.
Kevin Dick, he has kicked 17 goals this season. He has dropped 1 and he scored 3 tries. It's a long kick, but I saw this boy kick a goal from the touchline in one of the matches we televised, and a tremendous kick. He's kicking towards the witness end. When I mean the witness end, that's where the witness fans are. Brilliantly decorated in black and white. They really come down to enjoy themselves, but they won't enjoy this if it's kicked. And the crowd trying to put him off. I don't think it'll boil Bishwood off. The sun is shining, but it's against the wind. 2 points if he kicks it. He kicks it. 2 points to 0 with 3.5 minutes gone. Leeds just coming back a little bit now. Good bounce. It's got to be a bounce. Oh, it's a bounce. It's a try for Leeds. Try for Leeds. John Atkinson, the bouncing bull. A sensational effort. And the kick by John Holmes paid off. A lovely kick. Red Bowden looking a little apprehensive. Widnes are against the wind. The scrums 5-3 to Widnes. Hull will take in the last 3 scrums and penalties 5-4. But it's into the safe hands of Ray Dutton. Is it going to be hard second half? It's going to be Widnes on the right in the dark shorts. And the forwards now just getting a little bit needled. Holmes inside to Dill. Dill's in with a chance. Dill will score if he doesn't drop the ball. Dill scores. Well, what a delighted Leeds bench, and what a delighted Les. Dill always stayed about him. He's come to fruition, 8 points to 7. About 12 yards out. Ward, Holmes, got to give it to Cookson. Cookson in possession, Leeds on the attack. Don't have a go on his own. What's the referee doing? He's not pointing to a try, so it's a 6 tackle right on the line. Oh, he's in for a try. Kevin Dick is in for a try. And what a joyous moment for the lad who missed the goal. And he diving over 11 points to 7. And this stadium really alive. Straight kick. He goes to the left end. He kicks to the dressing room end and he points it up to make it 13.7. What a good cup final. John Holmes to Cookson. This is the position that Cookson liked. They're going to have a drop of goal. It's a goal. Going to have a drop of goal, Kevin Dick, with 3 minutes to go. Kevin Dick with the ball. But what a game Pitchford has had. And naturally he's going to take a shot at goal because of the time factor, if nothing else. Apart from the valuable chance of 2 points, he's digging Wembley up. Little Kevin Dick, and there it is, towards the dressing room end, and the board at the top. There's Leeds 14, Widnes 7. Kevin Dick, 6th attempt, and being in the picture in many, many ways. I should imagine he'll be put into the bath in the north dressing room. He's going to kick. It's 14 points to 7. It's 16 points to 7. And we're on full time, 40 minutes gone. It's a great moment for this boy because he's one of our young ambassadors of rugby league in the future. And well, we said, not lost his head, Lord Peart, Workington, David Oxley, Mr. Dennis Howe to present the trophy. Workington fan, Lord Peart, and Mr. Dennis Howe, possibly a Brum fan, I don't know, but David Oxley, Kingston Rovers fan. But there is this nice lad.
So to 1978. The core of the team still there, only this time David Smith was on the wing and Kevin Dick wore the number 14 shirt. St Helens were the opponents and were the favourites as well. Atkinson had enjoyed the stage the year before. He was soon at it again.
Oh, good pass. Well taken, Dill. Chance for Atkinson. He's taken Pimbledon. Is he going into the corner? A try! Willie Houghton to kick. Quite capable of kicking this. He's a studied form. Yeah, he's kicked it. Kicked it. And that will put a lot of heart into the Leeds fans whose banners are now going. Sid Hines released from the early tension. 23 minutes gone. Leeds 5. 10 points. Willie Houghton must be very happy about that. Ward's going to have a drop and to go. Well, that's not a a bad one, not a bad idea.
Excellent. That's the real start Leeds wanted this second half, and David Ward, as Eddie's already said, an industrious fella for a hooker, a truly good captain, a player of immense capabilities, and a wonderful drop goal. As we can see now, it's right between the sticks, you know, for a hooker, the fella has got it all.
Eccles. I think he'd go through a brick wall with this fella if he had to do it to score a try. Leeds fans cheering for the first time, and he's buried in there about 5 wides. Leeds on the attack. Phil Cookson a yard short, and the Saints defence holding firm under this tremendous onslaught. And he goes in to Smith to try. David Smith. 15 minutes gone, David Smith tried. 12 points to 9. Plus injury time, and Leeds know they've got to keep the ball moving around. 6th tackle coming up. It's a try! It's a try! Try to Cookson! Try! That's out, lovely! What a wonderful way he got the ball away. 6th tackle coming up. Can have a drop. Can have a drop. He's got to go with his left foot. It's breathtaking stuff. Breathtaking. And Ward dropping a goal. Ward dropping a goal. It's the happy lad. Well, what a final. This turned out, we all predicted it should be good, but St. Helens, who have been so much in this game, produced such good rugby, now behind 14 points to 12. And Leeds go up to get the Ladstock Trophy, by the way, has gone to George Nichols of St. Helens, so some consolation, and I would agree with that. He had a tremendous match. And David Ward, so many years spent in junior football as a youngster of 15 onwards, now going up to receive the trophy, and a lot of more years to come in his career. Derby, a great supporter of rugby league football. David Oxley. Jack Marisco, be a happy man tonight. Lord Fred Peart.
The Headingley Test wicket certainly captured the headlines in the 70s. In 1975, everyone suddenly knew who George Davis was. His supporters chose the Australia Test match to vandalise the wicket to draw attention to his imprisonment. But Geoffrey Boycott, 2 years later, took no prisoners on the way to one of Headingley's greatest ever moments, his 100th century.
That's a half volley through mid-on for 4. The bat goes in the air. The England players come out to applaud what really has got to be a moment here of cricket history. Geoffrey Boycott. 100 hundreds and the place to get it in the middle of a test match against Australia on his home ground at Headingley.
But Boycott's captaincy of Yorkshire was being questioned. The club never looked like winning anything. The committee decided he had to be sacked as skipper. The whole world was there.
The committee sincerely hope that Mr. Boycott will continue to play for Yorkshire. And I may say the General Committee were unanimous on this point. And they still hope that he may come to see that this is how he can best serve the country. Finally, the committee wish me to state that the new captain, John Hampshire, will have their unanimous support.
A civil war broke out. Boycott's followers called an extraordinary general meeting. Their standard was raised at Harrogate.
I say to you this, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon. They may say to you that Boycott is too wrapped up in his own performance and record, that he is indecisive. Is it a bad thing that he should concentrate on his own performance? I would remind you that this man, for the greater part of his reign as captain, his performance has constituted very nearly the sum total of the Yorkshire effort.
I'm only concerned with doing my job at Yorkshire Cricket. I was told by the committee that if I carried on playing for Yorkshire, they wanted me to play, that I would get a fair deal and be treated like anybody else. And I'm pretty sure I'm not getting a fair deal because I've been left out of the Sunday League. The Fenner Trophy was played. Every other cap player was asked to play. John Hampshire played, Richard Lund played. I was not asked to play and not wanted to play. And I'm not impressed by it, I can tell you.
Geoffrey Boycott unhappy, and so too was Ray Illingworth, the county's team manager. The 70s were probably the darkest days in the club's history, with nothing won at all.
Okay, Chris.
So to the 80s and now nearly the 90s. Now it has to be said the last few years haven't exactly been richly endowed with success, but the future of the club looks very promising. Bold new expansion plans hope to change Headingley into the Stadium of the North, coupled of course with success on the field. Leeds' only success after the golden years of the 70s was winning the John Player Special Trophy in 1984. Widnes were again the opposition. The team was much changed, but it still ticked around John Holmes.
Oh, nice intricate switch. Another Australian, number 12, Mark Lorry. And a penalty for not allowing him to play the ball. Yes, holding on. Kieran O'Loughlin, Widnes, holding on to Mark Lorry, so penalty to Leeds. Kicked some crucial goals in these John Player matches. He kicked a couple of crucial ones against Lee in the semi-final that helped to put Leeds through. And it's there. Well, 2 points to Leeds, pull that deficit back, 8 minutes gone, but still 6-2 in Widnes' favour. Gary Moorby, running very strongly, Gary Moorby, Alan.
Well, the Leeds forwards, Ray, are running tremendously hard. They've got this win with them, and they are a very fit side now. Maurice Bamford's got them sorted out, and they're coming very strong.
Oh, nice switch to Bell, he's got Holmes with him. Oh, and a beautiful try, a great try. Excellent combination there, well made John Holmes, raised that fist aloft. Excellent combination of forward break and then the clever backing up. All square. Very mature lad is this creaser for 18 years. And he's kicked it. So 12 minutes gone, Leeds in the lead for the first time, 8 points to 6.
Leeds then scored again. Rain's break gave Kevin Dick a great chance, the kind Kevin loved. But Widnes' reputation as cup fighters was shown minutes later. The up and under is a beauty, and watch Joe Lydon take the ball superbly to score. But 2 more goals from Leeds won them the trophy.
Yes, strangely enough, the wheel appears to have gone full cycle now, Harry, doesn't it? Because here we are now recruiting established international stars at world-class level in an effort to ensure we are giving the best on the field. One thinks obviously of the Crooks and the Schofields. Yeah, very exciting prospect.
Interesting to see that coach John Whiteley has chosen to give Lee Crooks the kick at goal, Alec, rather than George Ferber. Tremendous responsibility for one so young.
I'm a little bit surprised, but the lad's got a very big boot and he's kicking goals well for Hull, and it's within his capabilities, and I think he might kick this one.
It looks a good one, and it's in! Yes, 12 minutes gone. Youngster Lee Crooks puts Great Britain back on equal terms at 2-all, and something to warm that crowd. It's 40 yards out, it's only his second attempt, but he does have a stiff breeze facing him. But this kick in the closing stages of this first half could put fresh heart into Great Britain. He's certainly got the height, and he's got the direction. A tremendous kick from youngster Lee Crooks.
And Leeds have invested heavily in Gary Schofield to bring back glory to the club. To survive with the biggest in rugby league, you need a large chequebook. And no one doubts he's a great player.
By Holmes to forward. Oh, it's a bad one. I'm just looking at it. It's that bang. Gary Schofield again. Well, is this going to be his hat-trick? Yes, he's got the legs on him. What a performance and what a try.
The Headingley Test wicket continued to make the headlines. Richie Benno, former Australian captain, has played here many times. He's now a BBC commentator and has never doubted the ground's place in cricket history.
Exciting. There's always something happening up here, and there has been ever since I stopped playing as well. It's a ground which has a reputation for getting results. Whether the players have always been keen about that's another matter. But when I played, the thing that sticks in my mind most of all, I should think, was the match here in 1961 where Fred Truman did us. Fred bowled magnificently, dropped his pace and bowled seamers, and was handled very well by Peter May. And that was a terrific performance by England, but there was always something happening. The other thing is that you generally needed your raincoat, which I've taken care of today, and there was quite often a bit of a chill in the air, no matter when the match was played. It was often played later in the year in those days.
We've always assumed that Headingley has been a wicket of controversy. Certainly the last 10 years it has been. But was it always a dodgy wicket in your day as well, in the 50s and 60s?
Well, it must have been a pretty good track in 1948, I'd reckon, because Bradman's side made 404 to win the match against, I suppose, some bowling that fell away and also some indifferent fielding, apparently. In 53 it was a green top. In 56 Laker and Locke knocked us over here. And that was on a pitch that was, it had a very red tinge about it at the start, and we played on uncovered pitches in those days. So when the rain came, the ball turned square. And we played in 61, the match I was talking about earlier, on a pitch of very piebald appearance. It was a pretty ordinary sort of track. No one gave it a rating of higher than 2 out of 10.
As a commentator, would it be fair to say that the Botham Test of 81 is one of the most remarkable you've seen anywhere in the world?
If I had to, if someone said you can only nominate one test match that you'll watch again of all the ones you've seen, it would probably be that 1981 match. It was a pretty good game all the way through because the Australians closed at 401 for 9, and then England had to follow on. And when they won, it was only the second time in the history of the game a side had won after following on, and it was due entirely to both of them. Don't forget he took 6 for 95 in the first innings and made 50 as well, so it wasn't just his second innings stuff. It was a terrific game of cricket all the way through, but if I had to nominate one match, it would be that 1981 test here on this ground.
And not quite where he intended, but it brings him his 50 nonetheless. His second 50 of the match, and that broad smile conveying the old sense of enjoyment. Safely over the top of Hughes' head. And a bit of a risky blow that, but he's got away with it.
I think he hit this one somewhere near the splice. He's such a powerful man, and it carried deepish mid on.
So just 8 needed now to make Australia bat again. Oh, now it's 4 needed. 3 4s in a row, and the last 2 owing a bit to luck, but he's really having a lovely time, and so the crowd.
Good Sunday League shot this. Overslip. 4 runs all the way.
absolute thoroughbred stroke.
This is what we were saying a little while ago. This is a perfect shot. He stays where he is, he doesn't pull that front leg away, and he hits it right in the middle, and England go into the lead.
Don't bother looking for that, let alone chasing it. It's gone straight into the confectionery stall and out again. A beautiful hit.
What a wonderful follow through.
Safely away for 4. That's a splendid 100. A great innings by Ian Botham. 50 in the first innings, a century in the second, and 6 wickets. A marvellous all-round performance to match some of the others he's produced for England. And a marvellous tribute as well from his teammates, all of whom have gathered. And Mike Brearley is just giving him the word to stick around. Well, I don't think Wood is very keen on that, and I suspect from the way he's looking at it, he thought he might have squeezed it into the ground. Both of them shouted, and we'll just have to have a look and see what happened with the wicket-keeper and the slips. 13 for 1, caught Taylor, bowled Botham. It really was a difficult delivery. He's gone, and there's not much that could be done about that. Trevor Chappell really had no chance. Very good piece of bowling from Bob Willis. The second wicket goes down at 56. Trevor Chappell caught Taylor, bowled Willis for 8, and Dyson is 29 not out. Oh, what a good catch. Everything is running for Botham. Runs, wickets and catches, and the Australian captain goes for naught. Caught Botham, bowled Willis. Hughes is gone, and it's 58 for 3. Oh, good catch. Super catch that. Marvellous reflex action there. Yallop has gone without scoring. 58 for 4 with Dyson 29 not out. What a marvellous catch and what a great session for England.
And he's out, he's gone. Played on. Chris Hill gets his first wicket of the match at an absolutely vital time, and what a crucial wicket too. Alan Border, such a stalwart of this Australian batting side. 65 for 5, 65 needed, 5 wickets to fall. He's got a touch on it, he's gone. Going for the hook, which he played so well in the previous over, but Bob Willis's extra pace getting him, and look at that look of suppressed excitement on Mike Brearley and other England fielders. Willis's 4th wicket. In the air, Dilly is underneath it, and he's caught it! A very, very good catch indeed in the circumstances. He didn't have much room to play with, another foot and he would have been over the boundary. Willis has taken his 5th wicket. Sooner or later, Rodney Marsh had to go for the big hit. And England are holding their catches just at the time when they need to. 74-7 Australia. Yes, he's got a touch and he's gone. Willis has taken his 6th wicket. Lawson out for 1. And England on the brink of an absolutely sensational victory, which is going to go down as one of the most amazing Test victories of all time if it happens.
And Bob Willis finished with 8 wickets, and the Headingley faithful had seen a great victory. And Yorkshire won the Benson Hedges in 1987 to break their bleak spell. Moxon did his job well, but Jim Love had to play one of the best innings of his career.
And another glorious stroke there by Jim Love.
The climax, Yorkshire needed 2 runs to win against Northants with 2 balls left. Sidebottom scored the finest single of his life. Scores level, but all Love had to do was survive. Yorkshire won because they lost fewer wickets. Captain Phil Carrick a moment to cherish, and the hope it signals more to come as we approach the 90s. Playing strength on both sides of the stand is of course vital, but so too is the future of the ground. Norman Shuttleworth.
Well, we decided that we needed to have more hospitality suites, that the City of Leeds needed a banqueting facility of a size which currently it hasn't got. I think, as you'll know from your junketing around the city, Harry, that the Queen's is generally looked upon as the biggest facility that's available. So we looked around the ground here and eventually came up with the scheme that we will put a 3rd floor, 3rd tier on the existing main stand, which will be capable of housing between 750 and 1,000 people at a banquet. And in private hospitality suites on match days, we'll house well over 500 people in various suites, various sizes of suite. And that, we think, is really quite something.
Now, 30 years on, you're still here. Who have been the great stalwarts, would you say, of the Leeds Cricket and Rugby Club? Who have made it what it is?
Oh, on the admin side, of course, the name of Sir Edwin Airy stands out, and indeed the Airy family, because he was succeeded as chairman of the company by Alfred Sharman. And under these two, if you total their years of service, almost a century, I would have thought. And now, of course, we're being very, very capably led by our current chairman, Norman Shuttleworth. And here we are, yes, coming to the end of my era as chief executive, but the club is about to take fairly giant steps to what I'm quite sure will be a glorious future.
Sponsorship is needed to take Headingley into its next phase, in keeping with the idea started long ago on Lot 17A. Bass North are looking to the future.
Well, our company feels that, you know, in the north is a very important part of the country for us, and we feel that Headingley was one of the really great venues, and that we now are based up the road here, and we just thought this was getting everything together, and it was the place to do something.
Now, it's an awful lot of money. Can you tell us something about how that money will transform Headingley? Because clearly it will do that.
Yes, I think that all of us now realise that if the public is going to come and watch professional sport, cricket, rugby, in safety and come as a family, they've really got to have amenities which are far superior to those that have been available during the 18th and 19th centuries. So we're very keen that Headingley should adorn that mantle and really consolidate its position at the top of the northern entertainment venues, and have the sort of quality of facilities both for cricket and football and for spectators, but also to host other events here. Could be conferences. I imagine all the local sporting clubs will want to bring their annual dinner here, and it really will become a venue which everyone in the north can be proud of.
I suspect you haven't ignored the fact too that rugby league is very much the boom sport at the moment. Has that had a lot of influence in your decision, really?
Yes, it has influence, and of course we've been part of that, or enjoyed part of that boom by being quite heavy sponsors of that, and we've been very excited by that. That certainly has encouraged us, and we're going to now inspire the Yorkshire cricket team.
So in some ways, Tom, you're trying to make this the Wembley of the North, are you?
Yes, I think almost more than Wembley of the North. London's a difficult conurbation, and there are a lot of stadiums in the south. Wembley is one. But here, this really is the home of two of the greatest sports in the country, and for which there are nothing like so much competition as stadium here in the north. So I think to have the northern venue of the 21st century sat here at Headingley with all its history and all its future opportunity is a very exciting prospect.